What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the show. So I want to show you today, I want to show you something. I'm going to show you the generic ballot because I've seen some people out there talking about, well, look, the generic ballot's down to 4.8%. And if it's at 4.8%, you know, it favors for Democrats, but that's a low number. That means Democrats are not going to be able to take back control of the House. So I want to show you when it comes to the generic ballot, and I've said this, I actually did a live stream. I was talking a little bit more about this. When it comes to the generic ballot, it goes up and down. And it's going to continue to go up and down. Now, if it drops down to where Democrats are even with Republicans, that's a problem. But looking at it at 4.8%, that doesn't mean that, oh, it's at 4.8% now, so it's going to be at 4.8% in November. That doesn't necessarily mean that because we're going to watch it fluctuate. We're going to watch it go up and down. So it could be up higher than 4.8%. It could be down lower than 4.8%. But we've seen it already in just the recent months. We've seen it up higher than 4.8%. It went up to as high as 7.8%. And it depends on what metrics you're using, what websites that you're looking at. So we're going to take a look at that today. But first off, you guys can do me a favor. Please like the video. If you're watching this video and you want to see more content like this, please consider subscribing to the channel. Okay, so I want to take a look. This is Real Clear Politics. And the reason why I want to use Real Clear Politics is I had someone in the comments say, look, the generic ballot's at 4.8%. Now, remember, when we're talking about the generic ballot, all that is saying is, do you plan? There's a question out there. Do you plan to vote for a Democrat or a Republican? That's all that they're asking. They're not looking at specific candidates. And so right now, if we're looking at Real Clear Politics, it's showing us that when it comes to voting for a Democrat, it's a plus 4.8%. Okay, so if we're looking at this bar, the yellow bar at the top here, it says Democrats 47.9%, Republicans 43.1%. Okay, now as I stated, we've seen this go up and down, and you can see the pattern. It goes up and down, up and down. Now, what we did see Republicans start to surge here. You see that at the bottom, the red. You see that they're surging up. Democrats right now are pretty much they've leveled off here. Okay, and that's what we're looking at. So Republicans are surging, but Democrats are pretty much staying the same. But what I want to bring your attention to, if we come to June 18th, okay, so June 18th, it's plus 4.8%. Now, if we go back to 2018, and I'll tell you why 2018 is significant. If we go back to 2018, we see the same thing. You see it fluctuate. It's going up and down, up and down. Now, if we go to June, so if we're in June, you see what happened here. June, it was at plus 3.2, just June 1st. Now, we had that big spike for Democrats. And so in June 8th, June 9th, we saw it at plus 7.6%. And then it dipped back down in June 17th. So we were in the sevens in June. But look at what happened. It started to go back down again. Okay, and then late June, July, it started to come down a little bit. Now watch what happens here. In August, it dropped down to 3.9%, plus 3.9%, and then it shot back up again. Okay, so as I'm stating, it goes up and down, okay, and it will continue. So it went down there in August, and then it shot back up, and then we ended off here at about plus 7.3%. Now, the reason why 2018 is significant is because Democrats were able to win 40 seats in that November election, and then they won a special election after that. So a total of 41 seats they gained, and they took back control of the House. So just because we're looking at the generic ballot right now showing 4.8% doesn't mean that it's going to stay there. Now, I will agree, if we start seeing it go down even lower and it's close, and we have Democrats and Republicans at around 2% difference or 3% difference, and it stays that way up until the election, that is a problem. But right now, seeing the fluctuation, that's not a big deal. Just back in May, we saw it at 7%. We saw it at close to 8%. And right now, Democrats, all they need to do is they need to net 3 seats. If they can net 3 seats in the House, they will take back control of the House. And I know you might be saying, well, what about redistricting? If we're looking at, and like I said, when we saw in 2018, the generic ballot was at, let's just say, around 7%. Right now, it's at 4.8%. So it's about 2% less than what it was in 2018. So let's just cut it in half. Let's say Democrats are only able to net 20 seats instead of netting 40 seats like they did back in 2018. That would put you at around, what, 3.5%, plus 3.5% as far as the generic ballot. And so even if Democrats are around plus 3.5%, they're still set to gain some seats, and they would gain enough seats to be able to still take back control of the House, even if Republicans were able to gain 8 seats in redistricting. So the bottom line here is Democrats still do have the advantage when it comes to the House. When we're looking at the Senate, it's going to be much more difficult for Democrats. Republicans have the advantage when it comes to the Senate, but Democrats do have a pathway to take back control of the Senate, and so it's realistic now. But when it comes to the House, even when you look at the prediction markets, they're showing that Democrats are favored to take back control of the House. And so even though you're looking at the generic ballot, as long as it doesn't dip below, I would say dip below 3.5% and stay there until November, then I think that it's very likely that Democrats will still take back control of the House. So I want to know what you guys think. So let me know in the comments below. Do you think Democrats will be able to take back the House? Let me know below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe for more. And remember, stay informed, stay engaged, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye. So that's all we have for this video. Make sure if you guys want to send me an email, you can do that, david@thetecshow.com. Like the video, subscribe for more, and check out these videos over here for some more great content. Talk to you later. Bye.